Aboriginal people often use symbols for communication of knowledge. They're very effective in conveying particular ideas, recalling memories about aspects. As we say, an image speaks 1,000 words. The symbols that we're going to be discussing are around knowledge sharing. There are 5 types of knowledge sharing that you can use, and these are recognised in Aboriginal knowledge sharing practices. So if you're going to be working with a community, you'll need to understand this is the knowledge sharing that's going on, and this is the process that people are using around you. So the symbols and their description are drawn from Tyson Yunkaporta's work, Sand Talk, How Indigenous Thinking Can Save the World, by Text Publishing, and the drawings were done from his book by Lisa Roberts. The first symbol is kinship mind. Kinship mind is about relationships and connectedness. There is no isolated variables. Every element must be considered in relation to other elements and the context. When you start working with community, you need to allow people to put you in a relationship with the community, to say where you fit in. This will allow them to share knowledge with you. Otherwise, they do not know what they can and cannot tell you because you have no relationship to anyone. The second way of sharing or knowledge growth is through story mind. Story mind is how we compare our stories with the stories of others to seek greater understanding about our reality. Stories allow the knowledge to be shared in context. As you hear the story again and again, you'll remember or hear more of the context, so your knowledge about this topic will grow. But also, if you have a gut feeling, you have a story. That's great, it's your story. But if you share that with other people and you find 5 other people have the same story, then you start building an objective sense of what's happening around you. Then there's the dreaming mind. Dreaming mind is about connecting abstract and tangible knowledge using metaphors and images, dance, song, language, culture, objects, rituals, gestures, and more. Feedback loops between the world must be completed with practical actions. Aboriginal people get a lot of their knowledge handed down in dreams. It's like when you stop thinking about a problem, you come back later and your brain has worked it out for you. So when you've been told lots of stories about local environment, like Aboriginal people tell their kids, and you sleep on this, things start to make sense. And over many, many years, these stories you got from the elders will mean much more to you than they originally did. Maybe the original storyteller you listened to is dead, but now you understand what they were saying, which you did not at the time. And so this we use as the idea of ideation, just sharing ideas that maybe make no sense at the time, but eventually will make sense over time. Then there's ancestor mind. It's all about deep engagement, connecting with a timeless state of mind or alpha wave state, an optimal neural state for learning. This is what we call prior knowledge in our work with communities. You base your learning on what others have learnt before. So you listen to those who have this knowledge, and then you build on this. But always go back and check you understand what is passed down, what was understood before, and is your new idea still in agreement with these. So it's all about checking that you can work with what is already the knowledge and skills in the community and making something from that for the future. And the last symbol of Tyson's is pattern mind. Pattern mind is about seeing entire systems and trends and patterns in them, using these to make accurate predictions and find solutions to complex problems. It's about system thinking. A lot of what we teach at university is about patterns. When you encounter this situation, these are the aspects to look for. These are the steps to deal with it. These are the processes you can use. We don't prepare you for one problem, we prepare you for any problem. So being able to abstract from many experiences, say, this is the pattern I'm dealing with, is a great skill. And finally, in any engineering project, there is the ceremony. Knowledge sharing is done by Aboriginal people in ceremonies, when they come together to eat a local food supply, where there's particularly a lot of carbohydrate or protein, like when the Borona River is full of fish. And through their location gathered on country, they enact the important aspects that people need to understand to continue to care for this area of country, at this time, in this climate, etc. Knowledge is developed as kinship mind from your culture and your totem or expertise. It is shared as story mind to establish authenticity of knowledge through community. It is presented as dreaming mind in many formats or media to assist comprehension by others. The ceremony is ancestor mind, and it links back to all the past knowledge that has been developed into the present understanding. And it is pattern mind, and that you will find during the ceremony the similar aspects of your shared knowledge that create a new framing of the world. So we have mapped these symbols to the 5 aspects of design thinking, which is used in engineering. The first stage, to discover the situation that you're dealing with, the kinship mind, develop a relationship with the people or environment that you'll be working with. Then you start to empathise, listen to the stories of the people, gather user stories, find out what's happening in the community. or it might be an urban community, a company that you're working for. It's still the same process. Then you ideate, you dream up crazy solutions, anything that might solve the issue or create a new opportunity. And then you screen these down through the ancestor mind, finding what's feasible in the environment according to the requirements that have been set up for you, and the skills of the people that will be enacting the solution. And then you develop your prototype, which has various aspects from the ideas that you had, the sort of patterns where it matches the ideas you had and the community needs, and you prototype it. And finally, out of each cycle of the product development, you will communicate this to the user through any means, visually. Maybe you might do a bit of music to introduce your presentation to make it more engaging, storytelling around it so they understand the context, any way that people can engage with your prototype so they can understand where you're heading and see if that is what suits their problem.